when you're talking about OP, then if you have knowledge of the champion going in and you know what they do, um, then you know that they have certain selections they can make for skills as they level up, and because of this, it allows you to think about how you're going to play against them while the game is going on and as it goes on, or rather as it gets into the later parts of the game. And because of this, you can kind of plan ahead to sort of counterplay that. And I mean, if we're talking about blind pick, you can't really do that. Blind pick is blind pick, but I'm assuming right now that we're talking about draft pick. So obviously the game starts at map selection and then it goes to draft. Because if you say there are like 6 overpowered champions in the game, just random number, say that's there, and Team A picks 5 of them, and Team B picks 1. Like, yeah, that's going to be a pretty sizable counter. Like, it's going to be rough unless you basically just crush them in lane, which is sadly, it's one of the counter arguments that's come up recently. Actually, I guess not really recent. It's been around for a while, where it's like, well, if X champion's really good end game, just crush them early game. Whatever. So say that's the case. I mean, you're going to be in a position of hurt. So what you want to do is you want to have kind of a strategy going in, saying, okay, I really don't want to play against these champions. Ban out whoever you can, and then if there are situations where you think that things are going to happen, develop a strategy around it. Like, say, okay, yeah, a lot of people are claiming Uther is broken right now. Because of his healing abilities and how much he can just say, no, I don't care about what your damage, and walk away. So I mean, what you can do in that case is, all right, well, if Uther is too strong to take down, let's just take down everything else around him, and then we'll deal with him afterwards. Like that's one strategy to take into account. And jumping back to your original question, snowballing can exist in this game, but in a more team-oriented sense, because snowballing in general is it's typically right now focused around a single player getting too much gold. It's focused around getting basically rushing a build to the next tier before the response can be built. So say let's use League for an example again, like Draven getting an Infinity Edge before somebody has their first health item or first armor item. Like, that's terrifying. Like, oh my god, that's terrifying. So like that type of thing. Like, yes, that's snowballing. In this game, you level up as a team. The levels go pretty quick. And snowballing isn't as much of an issue because, typically speaking, unless your entire team is losing all of their lanes, which they're already losing all their lanes, so you can't really claim that anyone's snowballing because your entire team is losing. If you're losing your lane, yes, you're going to have a little bit of a disparity between power, but as a team fight as a whole, I don't think it's going to come down to the point where someone has become so strong that they're considered a snowball champion and they're just going to just run you through. Because again, as long as your team is near something when something dies, you get the experience for it too, which is why you want to have at least one person in each lane and possibly people running around killing mercenary camps and powering up your whole team. Yada yada. So, I mean, that was a really roundabout explanation. But generally speaking, I don't think there's going to be too much snowballing. I think there will be strong champions at the start, for sure. But I think this game is pretty CC heavy. You have the ability to stop things from happening right away. Trick question. That's not a trick question. I mean, there's pick-upable items in the game, but purchasable, equipable items to your hero, no. If that's what you're looking for. Yeah, I think the question is, so we will need to, or I guess statement, we will need to learn the heroes and how to face a team with each of those heroes. I think in general that's the idea. The idea is to play team play is more important than individual play, and general knowledge is going to be more valued than specific I mean, matchups are going to be important, don't get me wrong. Laning and matchups certainly going to be important, but when it comes down to it, I expect to see this game more fluid, more team engages, more skirmishes around the map than we normally do. And yeah, communicate to win is going to be a huge part. And I learned last time I did a cast that Blizzard is putting in a VoIP system, so you will be able to actually talk to people in the game. So how does your hero progress in game besides leveling up and gaining skills? Talents are the immediate answer to that, which Happy said like right as I said it. Sorry for the minute delay. But I mean, in general, talents act sort of as your items. The idea is, okay, hold on, let's take a step back, because a lot of people don't realize that this is the thing. When you start the game, you have 3 spells. It's like Dominion in League, only you start at level 1 here, and you still have all 3 of your spells. So it's like, okay, the game isn't as slow as people think. Like, just because there's no starting items, you still have a lot of stuff you can do right off the start. Like, it's scary good. I don't have access to heroes. I don't know if your friend invited you, and it's legit, unless they work at Blizzard and they got you an alpha code, or not code, alpha access. I don't believe there's any invite privileges going out yet, so. But yeah, so the early skills, super important. It allows for engages to happen right from the start. So there's that. Oh, she is Blizzard. She's literally snow and wind and just bad news everywhere. That's what she is. You're limited to 4 abilities on your action bar, but you're able to choose different abilities as you go through the talents. So I don't know if that explained it or not. Let me see. What am I doing? Let's go to Heroes. Nexus. Who is a hero that does it? Let's pull this one over, because I always love Nova. There. Alright, so I'm gone now, so rip me, but my face doesn't matter anyways. So, as you can see here, it looks like you would have 2 ultimates. Obviously, that's not the case. You can choose which one on the talent tree as we go down. Where is it? Right here. So as you level up, you get a choice of spells. You can either choose triple tap, which is a single target damage, or you can choose precision strike, which is the 3-second delay, pop basically a nuke in an area doing a sizable amount of damage, and it's a global. So that's a general idea of how this is going to work, if that makes sense to you. Whoa. I look away for 1 second and I get spammed. Alright. Anyways. Whatever. So that, I mean, if that answers, I can't actually see any of the chat because I looked away, so sorry if I missed your stuff. But this is how it's going to work. This is the talent tree. Actually, I shouldn't say this is how it's going to work. This is how it's working currently, and it's pretty much gets tweaked daily. So there's that. Yeah, this is Heroes Nexus. They're a pretty good site. There's a bunch of really good sites out there. There's Heroes Live, there's Stormable, there's Hotsfire, a couple others. But yeah, yes, it's in the bar. I'm showing the bar. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's the idea, and that's how you build your character up in the game. Heroes Nexus is basically my second homepage. My first being the Reddit. I'm on the Heroes Reddit pretty much constantly. What was that hero's name that plays a support? That's Abathur. Abathur is a really neat hero. He's definitely one of my favorites. Uh, Abathur is a specialist, which is a new class introduced into the MOBA scene. And as you can see, he doesn't have too much to go with, but it's pretty cool. What he does is he sims onto an allied hero, and when he sims into them, which basically means he puts this little creepy guy above their head, and then all of his abilities change. If he Qs, it does a shield to them, I believe, or no, I think E is shield, Q is skill shot, W is AOE pulse, which you can see here. This is the AOE pulse. This is the skill shot, and that green thing right there is the shield. So he's a really good support champion. Yeah, Toxic Nest is like, oh my god, it's so good. Ugh. The fact that he can just like burrow over somewhere and then just be like, yeah, I'll just pop down a couple Toxic Nests here and then like leave. Oh god, it's terrifying. Is it E skill shot or is it Q skill shot? I thought it was Q skill shot. Abathur's ult is cool. It's melee range, so he has to be in lane with the person to do it, I believe. So he could just burrow over to them and do it. But he basically creates an exact copy of that hero, and he gets to control them for 60 seconds. And so like, if you have two really good burst champions and a stunner, oh man, real scary. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that Dev 3 match when he had those 4 Toxic Nests down as Raynor ran in and Falstad baited him in. Oh man, I was like, no way, this is so good. Oh, I was so happy when he did that. I was like, yes, good play, very good play. I like that a lot. I think Burrow might get some kind of change to it. It seems a little bit too strong for my liking, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that's it's really early on in the video. If you want to go watch it, I'm sure it's still up. If you want to search for it, it was part of the So You Think You Can Cast event. It's probably still up on. Actually, there's like 15 of them being casted on Reddit. You can definitely see it. I tried to put my bid in there, but I didn't get it done in time. So I didn't end up releasing it, and it was subpar quality anyways. I'm more of a analyst guy, and that game is so goddamn fast. I couldn't do it. Couldn't keep up with it. I will absolutely be involved with competitive heroes. 100%. That is my goal. I will be running tournaments constantly for that game. That's definitely something that will happen. So far I have just fallen head over heels for this game. Like, I think it's amazing. It's so well done. I'm gonna try to make it have as big of an impact as I can on the MOBA community, and just push it to whatever heights I can. Yeah, so is FYFU, or is this something else? Yeah, ideally I would like to run events and sit on an analyst desk or something like that, because I personally I'm more of like the metagame kind of guy. I look at things from above and kind of talk about what can happen rather than hey bird, rather than cast in real time. I could do it for League and I could do it for Dota, but this game it's so fast. I get tripped up over my words. The second game that he's talking about was the Dev one, I think, Would they already have a cast going over it? I guess you could mute them and cast over it if you want.